We begin with breaking news here that we've been following for you all morning. Crews are fighting the lilac fire burning right now in Bonsall. This has forced people to leave their homes. At least 3 brush fires started in North County overnight. Thank you for being with us here. I'm Netta Iranpour.
And I'm Evan Nurani. Take a look at this map of the fires. The largest and still active fire is the lilac fire. It is at about 80 acres now and 10% containment. Forward progress has been stopped for the Paula fire and Riverview fires. And we have team coverage this morning.
Chris Groh and Regina Yorita joining us live at the scene of the lilac fire. That's the largest one. We're going to start with Regina. What are the conditions like right now and what's going on where you are?
Yeah, Evan and Netta, we're off of Old Highway 395, just off of West Lilac Road. You can see right here what fire crews are still dealing with. This is really challenging terrain, but up at the top there, also really rocky conditions as they're trying to cut through and really continue to close a perimeter, close that containment line. The fire is standing at 80 acres and it is 10% contained. One update that we did get from CAL FIRE is that those flames have significantly decreased, and we have been seeing that as we continue to report on this all morning. We're still seeing some white smoke, but fire crews still putting water on some of those hot spots. And even if you can look at a closer vantage point here, what they're dealing with in this area right down here towards where we're standing, still some hot spots, still areas that are smoldering. So fire crews are putting water in those areas, but you can see how close they got to Old Highway 395, and that's what they're trying to avoid. We are looking at the air tank up above. They have not made any drops just yet. We have seen water drops though before, and they were really trying to get a handle on visibility. So they were trying to wait to see as the sunrise was actually here at this moment so they could really get better visibility to bring the air tank from Mona. So one thing that we're looking at, and that's really going to bring even more significant progress to this fire. There are over 150 fire crews in this area, still multiple fire engines. One thing I do want to point out is that right now, because of the location of where that fire is burning, there are multiple homes being threatened. You can see it from up top on that hillside, some of the homes that they are trying to protect. CAL FIRE saying several structures have already been damaged, but we still don't know the extent of that damage and whether those were homes. There are evacuation orders and there is an evacuation warning. So areas that have gotten an evacuation warning are Camino del Cielo, Camino del Rey, and Lilac Road. And you can see on your screen, if we can pull up the full screen, the evacuation point is at Castle Creek Country Club. That is where CAL FIRE and the Sheriff's Department is sending people who have been notified about these evacuation warnings and the evacuation order. For animals, information on animals, if you have large animals, you can take them to the California Ranch for any animals that are being threatened by this fire. But back out here live again, not much flames like we were seeing earlier this morning, still some white smoke in this area. It's why fire crews continue to be up on that hillside, but they are dealing with some rocky conditions and really challenging terrain. They have been cutting through some of these dry brush and dry branches here, and of course continuing to put a handle on some of the hot spots that they continue to see in this area. I do want to send it over to my colleague Chris Groh to see really what he's been looking at on the north side. So Chris, how's the fire looking at in that area?
Yeah, not too much different from what you've just described, Regina. We've got a little bit of a better vantage point here of what, again, appears to be the direction of the start of the fire, just here over on the, again, east of where we are, just again towards the 15. They do believe that it started close to the freeway and then jumped its way up past the 395. So that's where you're seeing a lot of attention here from some of the hand crews that are just trying to make sure that they take care of those hot spots and start to clear out much of that fuel and brush. You were talking about the terrain. Continues to be a challenge for fire crews that are here. The good news is that, of course, that we have not had as much wind as we had in the past hour. We did see several gusts, some dust ups. Again, we saw at one point a flare up in the hillside close to what appeared to be a citrus farm. But at this time, again, we are just simply not seeing that. It does appear like CAL FIRE has put out that they have gotten much of this fire activity under control at this time. I have to imagine that this is a very positive step forward here as we move forward into the morning. So this hillside had several embers in it, and now it has since returned to somewhat of a smolder. Smoke has significantly dropped here. We have seen a plane that has been circling where we do believe that most, if there are still several active flames right now, we have seen it circling time and time again. We have not seen a water drop in some hours, so it's not clear if that's something that they're going to be doing or if they're just getting that bird's eye view, that vantage point from up top now that, of course, we have that sunlight that has been peeking through here for the past couple of hours. So we're going to send things back to you, Evan and Netta. We're going to continue to monitor things. We're going to go check out what the evacuation center looks like, if there are a number of people that have been there. Remember, evacuation orders were given, and we'll have to pay close attention to see exactly when those could potentially be rescinded if they are at some point today. Evan and Netta.
Those fire crews right there on the hillside there. Thank you very much, Chris, for taking us to that scene. Meanwhile, forward progress has stopped on the Pala Fire near Interstate 15 southbound and Stewart Canyon Road. North County Fire Protection District says evacuations have been lifted there. CAL FIRE crew saying that crews are on scene. They're mopping up any hot spots at the Pala Fire. It did burn about 17 acres. The cause is not known at this time. Crews have also stopped forward rate of spread for what they're calling the Riverview Fire. This one reported in the 1200 block of Riverview Drive in Fallbrook, and it only burned about 1 acre. Now to the fire in Poway. A lot of people saw the smoke from this one. This fire sparked yesterday afternoon. It was near Ted Williams Parkway and Pomerado Road. The fire is now out. You see all that dry brush around there. Fire crews were able to put it out before it spread to any structures, and they held those flames to only 3 acres. They prompted evacuation warnings in Poway. Those warnings are now lifted. Also, right now, SDG&E again enacting public safety power shutoffs because of fire danger. All that red that you see on your screens here, that's more than 14,000 customers who have had their power cut. More than 69,000 customers could have their power shut off here in the coming days, all because of strong winds. And because of that, some San Diego County schools are closed. They also are dealing with power outages like Bonsall Unified, Julian Union Elementary and high school districts. All the closures listed on your screen here: Mountain Empire, Spencer Valley, Warner Unified, Mount Woodson Elementary, Lakeside Farms Elementary, and Dream Academy. They are also closed. Stay with us here for the very latest on the ongoing brush fires burning in Fallbrook and in Bonsall, as well as the dangerous fire weather. You can find out the latest on our CBS 8 app, CBS8.com, and always stream our channel. It's free, CBS 8 Plus.